The sultry, muggy, downright unbearably hot night in the old North States. As we join Tar Heel by Dark, as one Lucas Saint sees this sign. As he crosses over the border into South Carolina. The commencement of an operation many months in the works. An operation where the dominoes having been placed to fall as they will. And it's with this journey that Mr. Saint seeks to tip that first plastic multi-dotted domino.
All right, so the first target's going to be Cleveland. Set up the base of operations, one we've already scouted.
All right, you pretty much have already got a contact down there who has told you where. Now, this contact's not told you much information about what side of the quote unquote clan, the quote unquote sect war that they prescribe to, but everything about the area has been coming from this guy.
Okay.
So he's basically told you, gave you directions and a GPS location of where to meet him at.
All right. Lucas is not a dumb man. He trusts to a degree, but not 100%. And he will go heavily armed. And if the team is still with him, he will take the team.
Oh yeah, his team hasn't won anywhere.
Mostly because they still want to get paid.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, the location that he gives you causes you to pull up into what you're sure is a scene out of Roadhouse.
Wait. I'm
The
sorry.
whole
It has to be said. Roadhouse!
Roadhouse. 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 Roadhouse.
Does everybody
Ghost.
in the vehicle say it at the exact same time?
Pretty much. But yeah, this building, it's one of those out of the way, little, country style, one of those little, country Moe's Tavern type of deals. There's a single door, no windows in the place, a single flashing sign reads OPN as it flashes on a set pattern. Number of cars there in the parking lot. And again, the whole place just reeks of right out of, like I said, just reeks of setup, ambush setup, very backwater.
Yeah, and he'll tell the team to surround to basically cover the exits. We're going in. This smells like a trap, but you know what? I think we're ready for it.
All right, they take up positions, and as you get ready to head inside, it's basic wooden door, nothing fancy about it. It's not even a name on the plate. Not even, not even a plaque or the hours or even the name of the place. Crack the door and step inside. Again, you're expecting to see Merle Haggard appear on a stage somewhere in the side of this place any minute, because this place is the epitome of country bar. Not a tavern, not a club, a bar.
And there's a stage with chicken wire in front of it, right?
Pretty much.
Yep. Good. I'll step in and.
There is a lively honky tonk tune being played. What sounds like it may be from a sound system of some type. There, nothing on the stage. See, there's a game of darts going on in the corner of the bar. Also, as you step in, you hear, that oh so familiar sound of breaking glass as you see the bartenders haphazardly tossing bottles behind them into what you can only assume are garbage cans. Several flat screen televisions are hung on the wall, and some of them showing a variety of sports. One of them on Sports Center. One of them on one of the local television news stations. And also in this bar, old pool tables, one of those old coin-operated pool tables, and we're not even talking about the fancy ones, the ones that that you can't you can see where your balls are where the billiard balls are going. We're talking about one of those old school tables that you can physically see pool balls inside of the table through that glass window with the lock on it.
The one that has a stupidly bad weakness with the coin mechanism that allows you to get your money back almost every time.
Yeah, one of those.
You just have to put it in about in about halfway and then pull it back out. It'll release the balls and give you your money back.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's all one of those pool tables that's just always missing, the seven.
Yeah.
Where you have to pull a cue ball off of another table to stand in. One of those tables.
Yeah.
The whole place has this really thick, billowy thick white nicotine smoke all over the place, and it's, like I said, it's a very lively tune. Sounds like if you're familiar with this type of music, sounds like an old Alabama tune playing over the loudspeakers. Bar's not exactly packed, but I mean it's the same kind of what you would expect to see in this kind of a bar for 10:30 at night. The clientele, nothing looks particularly out of the ordinary. It's few, you see the largest majority of them in there, and they're Gamecocks jerseys, and a couple in a pair of jean shorts. See a couple in there that look like they're wearing t-shirts with various company logos on them. Looks like they may have gotten off work for the night and came to get plastered so they can show up half drunk the next morning to work. But that's pretty much it. But you know for a fact that this is the location. This is the GPS. You checked it and checked it again and checked it 3 times. This is where contact told you to meet.
I'm looking. First, I'm going to start by looking for, because in so many different vampire cities, there's always going to be those individuals that just stick out like a sore thumb. And in a place like this, it's usually always the Ventrue. Because of their suits.
Mm-hmm. You don't seem to see any.
Then I'm going to go towards looking for the anarchistic look. It's a
You
bar.
have noticed now that you've had a chance to, now that you've had a chance to, to thoroughly scan the room, you do notice over by the pool tables, it's kind of the bar is kind of set up with, that main part of the bar right there as you walk into the door, or excuse, apologies, the phrasing, walk through the door, where the bar is right there, then off to your left-hand side is where these pool tables are, and, same way with the dartboards. Sitting in what looks to be one of those very old upright chairs, not even a bar stool, is a gentleman in a, not exactly, you wouldn't say he looked out of place in this part of town, were it not for the fact that there's just something about triggers to you. That he has a pair of cowboy boots, coupled with a pair of ripped denim jeans. They come up to a black t-shirt, a white button down, and that button down is untucked, hanging loose over the shirt, also unbuttoned. The frame continues upward to the side of a gentleman's face. The gentleman heavily 5 o'clock shadowed. You're pretty sure he hasn't shaved in years. And sitting on top of this figure's head is a brownish black Stetson. His hand rests on the side of one of the pool tables. You see he has the fingers of the hand set motionless on what looks like a television remote, as he seems to be watching that local news channel.
All right, so now that my senses have been attuned to an individual that doesn't look necessarily out of place, but in his own way a little bit out of place, I'm going to look over the bar again, because now that I've got an idea of what a person that might be slightly out of place looks like, now I'm going to scan and look for others that are just that slightly different.
The bar wraps around almost like almost like you would expect to see like an L shape, but rather than having an actual L, that has more of that other part of the bar on the other end, more like a C shape, but it's that lengthened C. You happen to catch his eye as he looks up to see you. On the gentleman's head, which you can only assume to be either buzz cut extremely short or missing any follicles whatsoever, is a tied off black prisoner of war missing in action bandana. You follow this frame down to a black leather motorcycle cut. Under this, same thing, is one of those very similar to the gentleman that's over in the pool at the over there with the pool tables, but his looks a little more. This gentleman is one of more of those that Sons of Anarchy look. You see, he's collected a small collection of long necks there.
Are any of them actually drunk?
Yes.
Yeah, Lucas is not a person that looks anywhere like he should be in a place like this. Combat boots, black jeans, black shirt, black leather trench coat, long hair.
Yeah.
He's like screaming.
Which is the reason why this guy looked up at you. Yeah. Which is the reason why this guy's eyes caught yours when you saw him. Because you immediately screamed, "I'm lost as a motherfucker."
He's gonna.
You don't quite hear what he said. Obviously, the music is blaring, but you noticed he puts a finger up. You see one of the bartenders steps over to him, and you can see from as she has her back turned to you, you just can see the side of his profile. As you see that same finger that he held up points over in your direction. And you see, again, you're seeing this all with her back turned to you. She nods, and then as she turns, you see she comes walking toward you as she lifts a small wooden, almost like the same type of door that you would expect to see from a cash register, one of those doors they put beside the cash register that employees use to come back and forth. But this one, she lifts it, and as she steps out behind it, she lets it fall back. And she heads over toward you, and she speaks. My good buddy over there's invited you. Said he got a drink for you. You want to come talk to him?
All right. Lucas will head over. You'll nod to. I'm assuming one or two of the gang came in behind him.
Yeah.
You'll just kind of do the kind of head shake towards them, like so they like spread out into the bar. Then he'll go over and take a seat next to the guy.
The gentleman, his eyes still almost staring off into the distance, almost blankly, almost as if he's staring through the wall of the bar, and he speaks as you sit down. I trust you didn't have any problems finding the place.
Nope, right where you said it was going to be.
See, bartender, this same lady, she sets a shot glass down in front of you. And, what can I get for you, honey?
Whiskey.
Ah, man, after my own taste. All right, coming right up, buddy. So, and this is the guy in the biker cut. So I promised you information about Colombia. I delivered, as I always do. Now, in exchange for that, I would appreciate. Well, let me back up. You see his eyes. You can see it from his peripheral. His eyes cut almost in the direction of that gentleman in the Stetson. We would appreciate an update on what the Tremere are doing up your way.
It's reasonable. And you give him what information he has currently on the Tremere.
Right.
Including the one chantry that has fallen and still under Asimite control, apparently.
All right. Well, like I said, we're pretty much bare right now. No real leadership. And by the way, you notice he's saying this just right out in public. Hasn't, said anything under his breath or even checked to see if, it doesn't even look like he's either even checked that there might be, non-vampires in this bar. Cleveland is it's a black hole. So it's, like I said, there's not even so much as there's a power vacuum. There's not even a fucking power here. Everything's in Columbia and in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I know it's in Myrtle Beach. Right now.
And she returns this time with, pouring the shot for you. You see, she actually pulled Top Shelf for you.
Lucas will put a bill down. It's a big bill.
So what you see, this guy's, this biker, when you put the bill down, he actually reaches over and he puts his hand on it and slides it back to you. Don't worry about it, I got it.
This is for her. And he slides it back over to her.
All right. Now you talk. So, call it a headquarters, if you will. How big of an operation are we talking here?
He'll take a napkin and just start tearing it little bits, and basically make a what looks like a rough estimate of what South Carolina looks like.
Yep.
And then where the corner where Cleveland is, he's gonna tear off that corner that we were talking about and slide it north on the bar. That's what we're talking about happening currently.
Now, like I said, I've only talked to you about this. Now, I'm assuming, because first of all, if you reached out to us, I'm assuming you're not alone in this. One, because I saw the three guys that came in with you, and above anybody else, I'm the first son of a bitch to pick out a security detail, and I can practically guarantee there's another 50 or 60 outside in the parking lot.
Not quite that many. I'm a little more trusting than that. All right.
So who have you got at home that's involved in this, interested? Like I said, you're not doing this alone. You're not that stupid.
No, we've got some support from the people up north.
Well, no shit, Sherlock, but it would be helpful to know who. You have to understand, when you work in the line of work that I work in, you tend to have some people that have some grudges, I guess is the best word for it.
He'll drop David's name.
No, that fucker.
Don't like him?
No, we're not on exactly, I wouldn't call it amicable terms, but more of a business relationship.
It's a crew built around.
I stepped on his toes, at least he thinks I stepped on his toes about, something about back in the 60s when that whole race riot bullshit. He thinks I stepped on his toes about some insider information that we got a hold of, and he thinks he got it first, and We think we got it first, and it's just a big fucking debacle. Some shit, honestly, that probably is not even probably not even worth holding a grudge over. But I know how he is.
Well, I can't completely 100% speak for him. You know how it goes, but I'm pretty sure with your guys' assistance in helping strengthen the domain, I'm pretty sure he can be talked into forgetting about that.
Right.
Maybe can't guarantee it, but I can probably talk him into starting a clean slate.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Because we can't move. All right, look, you know what? I'm just going to come clean. I'm sure the cut was obvious. My guy over there.
Sorry, I didn't hear that well.
I'm sure that he says, all right. He says, all right, I'm going to come clean because I'm sure the cut is obvious. My colleague over there in the cowboy hat is our club president.
Look over his shoulder and give the guy a nod.
You see he turned his eyes turned towards you as he nods, tipping his hat to you, but doesn't say a word as he turns back towards that television. I'm the treasurer, and I do a lot of the public relations. Is such a bad term for this, but that's the best thing to call it. See, we have got an issue that involves your home state. And to be honest, this is the entire reason why Dakota over there had me even talk to you, give you this information. We were hoping you could scratch a couple ears, bend a couple, I don't know, bend some poles over some people's heads if needed, or at least help with it. We have product that we need to get moved. And I mean, sure, we could move this product through Georgia. We could move it through Georgia, Tennessee, and go up through the West Virginia and go up around that area, but it's fucking stupid. Why waste the damn gas and time? We need this product moved into DC. Now, obviously, we want to take I-95 straight up to DC, going through Carolina and up and through Virginia. Now, our problem comes with the fact that the moment that our boys ride over that border, I swear to fucking God, every state trooper in the on the damn road somehow manages to know where we are. I don't know if they're getting tipped off. I don't know if we got a rat. But 6 or 7 times, at least 6 times, we've tried to cross that border in 3 or 4 different places. And within 30 minutes to an hour of being across that border, here comes the damn blue lights pulling the whole fucking convoy.
Lucas is going to take out a phone and send a text message to the prince.
Outlining
what the guy is saying and seeing if he has any information on what's going on.
All right. I don't think Walt is actually on right now.
No, I mean
either that or if
I mean Josiah.
Oh, you want to go directly to Sam? Okay, go directly to Sam.
I wouldn't try to contact Walt's character without Walt in the room.
Yeah. Some people have done it before, so.
Just slow things down.
You get a couple minutes pass. Yeah, a couple minutes pass and you get a beep on the phone, basically coming back with yeah, he'll look into it and get back to you, but nothing. He doesn't know of anything right off the top of his head.
Has it been happening in just the last year? He'll ask the guy.
Oh yeah, about a year ago. About a year ago. About a year ago is when this shit started.
He's gonna write down the information about what's been happening in the last year with the print ship of the domain, the Tar Heel domain, and slide it over to him. And after he's done reading it, he's gonna drop it in a glass of water.
Nice, well played. Now, that makes sense. But yeah, but here's the problem. Like I said, I've been hearing. Well, I say I, but I speak for I speak for the whole club. But we were hearing something about this, but we weren't sure. We heard something about one of your guys had tracked the guy down, got a hold of him, threw him in the river, or shipped him upstream, did something with him.
Upriver.
Either way, we were hearing that that Sam's took back over up there. Now, I don't know how true this is. I mean, obviously, I don't live up there. It's your area, but
he's back. He's back, recovering.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. At least maybe we can talk. Maybe he can get some sense. Get some sense talking to these damn pigs.
But the spread that you're talking about is a little odd. You might want to check your numbers. Because it sounds like it would be hard pressed for even a team of our people up north to be able to track across that much space and that much time and be able to respond in that much time without direct information.
Which is what I'm worried about.
But here's one thing you got to remember with this, with what we just went through. People may not be what they seem.
Yeah. Especially when you gotta especially when you gotta set up there like you guys have, damn kings and landlords and shit.
It's unique, I tell you that much. But
I've rode all over this. I have rode this whole damn side of this country. Halfway rode up some into Canada. And that's the first time I've ever seen that shit.
But also remember, the moving of this border down here, if you guys stay here, you become part of that domain, so it might actually be easier for you guys to move.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If we can ever even get the shipment, you see, he leans back onto the bar stool. If we can even get the damn shipment across the border, there's no guarantee it'll even get into Virginia. With Gaffney's fucking stupid dick sucking ass, there's no guarantee that she won't pull strings and stop us the moment that we cross into her domain. Like she fucking. All right. You see, he starts to try to gather himself. That fucking self-righteous bitch, for some reason, thinks that Richmond is God's fucking golden palace, and nothing can get through there without her putting her hands on it. And for some reason, these fuckers have got her convinced. They've got her fucking convinced that Richmond somehow is the whole goddamn state.
So what you're saying is she wants her cut.
That's exactly what it is. And I don't. And it's not that we have a problem giving her a cut, but she wants the 80-20 is not fucking happening.
Tell me it's 80 for you guys and 20 for her.
He kind of cuts his eyes to you and gives you that that look of what do you think?
Oh God. Toridors. He just like rasps under his breath. That's what she is, isn't she?
Yeah, she's Toreador. And see, like I said, I put in personally, I personally picked up the phone, left a message with that Ventrue, that Clark guy, and he's a Ventrue. He's a Ventrue. They know we do business. Think we'd come to some kind of an arrangement. No, I'm sorry. I'm Adam Clark, and I have to suck the dick. I have to suck the prince's cock before I can tell you anything. The whole thing is just a fucking debacle. Now, as far as you moving down here, we have no problem with it. Hell, we'll get you set up. We got men to spare. We got men to spare. We got bikes to spare. We got space to spare. Hell.
But there's a cost to it, I'm guessing.
Obviously. Again, you're not.
And that cost is.
We don't want to know what you're doing here. Yeah, I don't even care if it's legal. But if we're going to offer our equipment, so to speak, and let me pull out the old school financial terms here. If we're going to be throwing capital your way, we're going to be making an investment like that. We got to be sure that our return is going to be worth our time and worth the effort. We've got 15 bikes sitting in the shop right now. All of them need a little work, but they're ready to go on 2-3 days notice. Again, we don't have a problem loaning out these bikes. But we want 15% on any profit.
Slides out his phone, starts pretending to do calculations, because really it's.
Yeah, that's not at all what this is even about.
Well, he's talking, and Lucas is attempting to make it look like it's a business transaction for those around him, because he can't really check to make sure they're all vampires himself. So, and if he looks at the calculator, it's totally and absolutely bullshit numbers. Obviously, a show. I think we can do business.
Like I said, you got the bikes if you need them. I'm gonna tell you, it's a hell of a whole lot easier with maneuverability on those bikes than it is on those Humvees that I know for a fact you have used.
But also, here's the flip side to you. We help you get shipments through. We want 10%. Better than the 20% that, and I've got some pull with her.
Yeah.
You remember the show a couple weeks ago?
She's not getting fucking 80% profit on this. That's not happening.
You remember the show that happened here in this little town a couple weeks ago?
Oh yeah,
That was
we
me.
heard about it. Yeah, well done. Well done, by the way. Good job. That shit was clean too.
But we help you. We help you get through. It's 10% our way for anything that successfully. And he specifies the words successfully gets through North Carolina without a problem. And he offers his hand to him.
You see, as he takes another swallow out of the bottle as he sets it down. Now to say, you see that this bartender has heard that she apparently heard. She somehow heard that bottle hit the bar. Somehow, as light as he put it down, she somehow heard it. As you see this, she begins to step or head his way as he holds up an open palm to her.
Is she pale by chance?
She looks somewhat pale. All right, tell you what, Dakota. See that guy in the Stetson? His hand raises. You see one of his finger, or his middle finger, seems to push down on the television remote. As you see that the TV turned itself off. And you see as he rises from that chair, the gentleman's got a certain swagger to him. A guy, as he's raised, as he stood now, he's breaking 6'6", and probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, he's probably breaking 300. And as he heads toward you, you see the sinews, the sinews and muscle tissue just ripple all throughout this guy's arms. I think Mr. Singh, as you see, as he's approached the bar, he doesn't say anything. He simply turns his back to the bar, and you see he props one of those cowboy boots over the other, and he leans back against the bar. I think Mr. Singh is willing to deal. Gold Prez. What's your offer, Saint?
Well, you guys want 15% of what we take down here. We want 10% of what you guys successfully managed to get through North Carolina, as long as we've helped in some way.
%10%.
We can discuss.
And before,
we can discuss
and
the cost
before
of doing
we
business
agree
when
with you,
going into Virginia afterwards, because I still have connections up there.
Oh, very well. I'm glad you mentioned that. And you see, this gentleman's got a very slow drawl on it to his accent. It's obviously you're in South Carolina, but it almost sounds almost like a bit of a Georgia accent, more like a northern, an upstate Georgia accent. And see, I'm glad that you have mentioned that, because your 10% was going to put us at 10%. Because that traitorous cunt in Richmond wanted fucking 80-20-80.
See, she was wanting 80-20. I managed to get you into Virginia. She's still gonna want her cut. I've got some pull with her, but there's no way I can get her off of getting something.
Oh, that's not the problem. I don't mind giving. It's not that I mind giving her her cut, but give her her cut, not the whole goddamn profit.
Yeah.
I have no problem. I have no problem doing 60-40.
And we are talking about a long-term operation here, correct?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we're running into DC. DC, we've got a secondary shipper in DC that's shipping out from us. This source is basically picking up product off of us, off of one of our warehouses up there. He's paying it. He's pretty much flat out buying it from us, playing customer. And you know what? I frankly don't know what the hell he's doing with it. And I really, frankly, don't care as long as we get paid. But from what he's told us, he's running that product up to Chicago and New York. Hell, I think he's hit Winnipeg and Toronto a couple times. But again, I don't know. I really don't fucking care. But
see, well, one of the advantages that we have that we are planning for this region when we finally incorporate it is, and he takes another napkin and he tears out a outline of an airplane, kind of sets it on top of the section of the previously sectioned out South Carolina.
Yeah.
Is placing a private one in this region.
Well, at least we wouldn't have to be going through Charlotte.
And see, my friends in North Carolina include a money bags. If you know what I mean.
Well, I will tell you that money's pretty much not the issue here, but I'm always willing to take on additional investors.
You do realize that I am expecting that at some point in time there is going to be some dumbass that's going to try to oppose me around here somewhere.
No, yeah, it won't come from here.
But
I'm telling you, it'll either come from Columbia or Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is there's already activity going on in Myrtle Beach right now.
Oh, I know. And that's where little Miss Virginia is going to come in handy. Because she has a vested interest in destroying what's in Myrtle Beach. As does North Carolina.
Oh, you don't say.
Curious question for you guys. We have had a group of visitors come into North Carolina. And he sketches out the symbol from the back of the jackets.
Oh yeah, that's not us. I know. Again, activity in Myrtle Beach.
That's from Myrtle Beach.
Hey, Bones. You see the first guy that you were talking with, as he turns around so you can see the patch on the back of his cut, and his looks more like a pair of wolf skulls with the back of the skulls facing away from each other.
Lucas taps the symbol that he drew. Are you saying they're from Myrtle Beach?
Yeah. That's where they hang out anyway. I don't know if that's where their clubhouse is, but I know that's where they hang out.
That will it looks between the two of them, and that's probably going to clear up the problem that you guys had with the feed. That's an important piece of information we needed. And you guys definitely had it first. It kind of gives that sly smile.
Like I said, now between you and me, we have no problem. If you want the hand, we have no problem strapping up and riding up there and putting holes in them. Because those sons of bitches have been fucking with my bread and butter, with our bread and butter for 6 months now. Everything we try to pass through that side of the state, they're putting their hands in everything. I can't pass a fucking shit in a toilet in Myrtle Beach without one of them fuckers knowing about it.
I have a feeling they're going to cease to be a problem pretty soon. We've already caught it, but here is your problem. These guys are fucking innovative. We are sure these are the guys who put in the imposter into North Carolina.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt of that.
And he indicates the man he was originally talking to indicated that you might have a leak problem.
Well, to be honest, I wish he hadn't told you that, because that was something we wanted to handle in house.
Oh no, I have no plans on interfering in that. You tell me now if you don't want me interfering in that, but it's a piece of information you might like to know, that they put an imposter in place that looked damn and acted damn good. You might want to keep an eye out for that. And he kind of does this with the information and that piece of information to him too. I can forget I heard that too.
Yeah. That's gonna happen, yeah. We're gonna both forget that exchange happened.
He nods.
But yeah, I'll give you the name. Their club president. He goes, everybody calls him King. Some ego trip. That's what he goes by in club. But his real name is David Washington. He's old Vietnam vet. Kind of like myself. See, he has some we're just gonna say that Sergeant King over there has got some issues up here, as he taps on his temple.
Are you saying what I'm thinking you're saying? And he kind of, by chance, is there a damaged mirror in the bar?
Not necessarily, but you do see that the bar itself has got like a glass cover over it that does look like it's been broken in a place.
He'll tap a cracked section of that mirror top.
As a damn bat.
This is very good information.
And like I said, and I'm not going to charge anything for that because, to be quite honest, I want the fucker in a grave.
We shall be seeing to that soon. Having that group that close to our border is a danger to Tar Heel.
Danger to Tar Heel. Hell, it's a danger to us. You know what they're running? You know what they are trying to run through your state?
What's that?
It's not heroin. It's not meth. It's not PCP. That's my area. We do that. They are running this fucking Vitae concoction shit. It's got Toreador blood. It's got Tremere blood. Hell, I dare say it's got some of your boys' blood, all mixed up in this shit together. What they're doing is they're getting kids up there. And I don't mean kids like us. I don't mean, under 100 years old. I mean legitimate mortal kids, teenagers. Hell, I've heard rumors they get toddlers hooked on this shit. And they're only running through there. A fucking good question. Hell, where are they getting any? But where are they? Who's donating to this little operation?
You said they're donating.
Assuming they are. I don't know if they're donating. I don't know if it's being taken by force. But either way, who's running that? Who's running that ramshackle operation?
Will.
Yeah.
Have I gotten a lock on what clan these guys are?
Not exactly.
They're definitely not Camarilla, though.
Nope.
I'm guessing.
They're not Camarilla.
Independent or Anarchs, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they are definitely not Camarilla. Nothing about the way that they've carried themselves or anything they're saying is telling you Sabbat, but they're definitely not Cam.
They seem to be indicating against being Sabbat too.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're certainly not. They don't seem Sabbat. They're definitely not Cam. So
Yeah.
They could be independent. They could be Anarch.
Yep, kind of leaning a little more towards Anarch. The whole biker gang thing kind of screams Anarch. But then he did seem to, but he also did seem to be indicating a hierarchy, which would be kind of against Anarchs, sort of. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They're not so bad, and we seem to be on the same side at this stage.
Yep.
See, David,
I tell you what. I have got in the truck out there, in a cooler out there, and I brought this specifically because Bones told me you were coming tonight. I got a hold of one of these blood bags. They don't know that I got a hold of it. They also don't know that their club is missing a prospect, because that prospect is in pieces scattered all over Colombia.
and yes, for a moment, Lucas actually kind of chuckles because they're talking about drugs in Colombia, and they're obviously not talking about South America.
Exactly. See, Colombia, South Carolina. Even we do drugs too. I don't have a use for it. None of us mess with that blood testing shit.
You provide it to me, I'll make sure that the information we glean from it gets back to you.
I have no problem with that. I would appreciate that.
We
Hell,
may
at
not.
least it tells us what we're watching out for.
We might not be part of the same organization, but in this, I believe our organizations can work together.
Well, I'm gonna flat out tell you, Mr. Singh, the only problem I've ever had with Camarilla is the fact that it's so damn self-righteous.
Really is. And
Other than that, I mean, it makes sense. Just, after a while, when you get pushed in the dirt and you get stepped on, kicked on, run over by tanks, sooner or later, you get tired of that shit.
I completely understand what you're saying, and he'll turn to the guy in the Stetson and offer his hand. I think we can do business.
Yep,
Actually,
think
I
we
know
can
we can do
too.
business.
Oh, and by the way, the guy who had been ranting the whole time was the guy that he referred to as Bones. The guy in the Stetson has been pretty much quiet the whole time. Dakota extends his hand over, and you see on the top of his hand a tattoo of what looks like a series of eagle feathers. Almost looks like a Native American tattoo.
And I suppose Cam Lore won't help me.
Not particularly. Not in that case.
He'll shake his hand.
Stay in contact. I mean, obviously you want me down here too, but stay in contact.
He'll nod and stand up, and there'll be 2 cards, 3 cards left on the bar with his number. One of them obviously pushed over to the side to the bartender's side.
Oh, so you as you see Dakota rising from, picking himself up off back up off the bar, as you see he tip nods the Bones as he see that same hand he had shook yours with. See you feel him place it onto your shoulder, and he speaks. Now about that sample. I'm assuming you're interested.
Yep.
All right. Let's go get the deed done.
He'll head over. He'll nod to the when he rose and turned. He'll have nodded to the other guys, and they'll have disappeared. And those people around the building would have went back to the vehicles.
All right, as you guys head outside, Dakota takes you to an old, it's an old, like we're talking like 1988, old, Ford F-150. This thing has been through a damn war. Half the bumper's missing. The windshield's cracked. You're pretty sure one of the tires is going flat. There's an old bumper sticker on the front bumper. Old bumper sticker that reads Clinton, Bill, I vote for. And there's another bumper sticker beside of it that reads, save the environment, hug a tree today. He reaches up to hits the back of the truck, and reaches into pocket of those jeans he's wearing, and he produces a set of keys. And he basically unlocks the truck. And he produces a small cooler. It's one of those little like 6-pack coolers designed to hold a can, a 6-pack of cans. He pops the lid on it, so you can see inside, and that is indeed exactly what it is. It's a he's got the thing full of igloo freeze packs and some actual ice too, and sitting there on the top of it is exactly what he said it is, a blood bag. Has no origin marks on it. It's simply marked with a bat, the symbol of the Batman comic book character. I don't know what these damn symbols mean. Apparently this ain't the only one. Apparently they got this Batman one. Apparently there's one floating around somewhere that's got a Superman symbol on it. One of them got an X-Men symbol on it. I don't know what it all means, but there you go.
What kind of streetwise would I need to understand dealer symbols?
What have you got in it?
I just have one streetwise.
Yeah, that wouldn't be quite enough. This is a little more obscure than that.
No, but would I recognize what would be like what would likely be like a dealer's signature?
No, it doesn't look
like
more like a signature. No, it doesn't look so much like a signature as much as more of an identifying mark of what it is.
Okay. That's weird. All right. I will get back information back to you as soon as possible on this.
All right.
Cool tattoo.
Damn, it's fucking hot out here.
Cool tattoo.
Oh, that's like I said. Oh, to hang a hold over from these. I mean, if you want to hold down, if you want to hold tour, we can do that next time you come down.
That'd be perfectly fine.
Oh no, I'm talking about ink. Of course, if you want city tour, I can do that too.
All right. So
Like I said,
that was about 2 weeks.
Like I said, I'm telling you
now. Another meeting in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Same location. Fine
Sounds
with
good.
you.
Sounds good.
Right.
And Lucas
Yeah,
will.
you talking about a city?
Yeah, city.
You talking about a city?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about a city to set up in? I'm telling you, there's nothing here.
That's kind of what
Perfect.
I was hoping for the moment.
Yeah, you got a couple of nosy cops here and there, but there's nothing here.
He kind of looked back at the forest and he's like, I was hoping that if trouble came knocking, they would avoid that for obvious reasons. At least avoid.
He seems to be
flank.
He seems to be a little unsure of what you mean.
The forest.
Yeah, when you about the forest specifically, he seems to not quite follow what you mean.
You know what stalks those things? The forest, right?
I know what used to stalk it here.
There's another group a little further north.
Yeah. The same things that same group that suddenly decided that there was a mountain up there that they thought was more important than these trees.
I'm just hoping that there's. I was hoping that there would be people around here that might cause trouble for us that would think that they didn't think that so much, that they stuck around.
Oh, that's not a problem. I can make, as you see, he holds up his hand, and as he does, you see a series of claws begin to extend from his hand. Oh, I can make that happen.
Till next time. And
Next time.
he'll turn around and nod first, and then turn around and head towards the vehicles, or to turn back, and get immediately on the phone with the prince. And he's not letting it go to voicemail this time.
Nope. I'm going to keep calling till you answer. And thank you for calling SJO Clayton. Thank you for calling SJ Clayton. After about five times of cycling through that, you finally get Sam. Sam Josiah, what can I do for you?
It's Lucas.
Ah, Mr. Saint. I got your text message, and like I said, I'm looking into it right now. And I don't know, right off the top of my head, I don't know for sure. Like I said, obviously, you understand I've been indisposed for a good while.
Yeah, I'm not calling.
So, if nothing has changed since my time and since my forced vacation, both Mr. Wallace and Mr. Menashe may have some contact in the police force that they may be able to leverage for you.
Yeah, I'm not calling about that.
More so than myself.
Yeah, I'm not calling about that. I'm calling about the visitors that we've had.
Oh. Do tell, Mr. Saint.
They're Myrtle Beach. And they're spreading a new drug.
I'm not sure I follow a new drug.
Yeah, with mixtures of blood.
I'm going to ask how they're doing this, but I'm well aware of the fact that you may not know.
I don't exactly know, but I have a sample. And he'll take a picture of the cooler and send it.
Okay, I see you sent me text here. Apologies, Mr. Saint. I'm not quite as savvy on how to get these.
Do you see a little thing that says download on it?
Oh yeah, okay, there it is. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Can you touch the screen of your phone and it'll do stuff?
Oh yeah, I got it. I just had to find the actual download button.
When he asks that, there is in no way any derogatory or demeaning talk about it. It's just straight. Do you see this? Do you see that? Yada yada.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got that in a cooler in my backseat.
Okay. The less I know about how you acquired this, the happier I am. But get this, given the fact that the Tremere are indisposed, if nothing has changed since my time off, get this to Mr. Dannington ASAP.
Yeah, I wouldn't mention this to the Tremere. Again, I don't trust them, but there's something else in this that makes me further go away from trusting them. Supposedly part of this drug includes Tremere blood.
But that doesn't make sense to Mr. Singh. The Tremere are so protective of their secrets. Why would their vitae end up in this concoction?
Exactly.
Going to be honest, I fear, I tremble to think of anything that would force the Tremere for blood donation.
Or there's the other side of that coin, which is why I don't trust them right now. what if one of them's doing it voluntary?
That being said, I still have yet to hear from Miss Caraway. Miss Caraway has been absent. I'm told that this usurper had put out a decree that she was to be declared an infernalist.
We have at the moment decided to ignore that for the moment.
Anyway,
We
I've not seen her in time. Mr. Wallace, Mr. Wallace also made me aware of the order that he had decreed in my name, on my behalf, of Miss Caraway being sentenced to counseling, if you will. But it pains my mind to know that we've had no contact with her for quite a while.
We also have another issue. Your imposter, he kind of wrote a check.
Continue.
To an Assamite. One that is now technically defaulted in the name of the domain.
All right, say it again, Ian, because your mic shorted.
Sorry. A agreement that has kind of gone into default in the name of the domain.
Okay, give me the details.
He'll break down everything. The hiring and the bringing on of the Assamites and what Lucas has been doing to distract the Assamites.
Keep them from, burning down the prince's mansion.
Try burning down the prince.
Yeah. Here's what I will offer. As I think we're both aware of the political ramifications of this, writing such a check directly off an account that my name is associated with will look suspect in the eyes of higher powers. But give me a realistic figure that I can have deposited into a private account, an account that will have none of the Camarilla's hands on it.
We want Operation Cross Borders. We want the original agreement.
This I had not been made aware of this.
And he'll break down Cross Borders and the entire. He'll break down
how that worked.
Sorry.
Yeah, break down the whole damn plan of how that worked.
Including the freehold for the Assamites inside of Camarilla territory, no mutual non-aggression, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. The whole 9 yards.
Well, as I said, I've never had a problem. In 300 years, I think 362 to be exact, towards the end of next month, the Camarilla and the Independents have enjoyed a healthy, I don't even want to call it an alliance so much as a business merger for pushing 400 years. And that business merger has been, I would like to believe that business merger has been profitable for both. Give me some time. Give me some time to work out exact details, and we can get something on in writing.
Just so you're aware, it has already technically started, and this information that I bring you about Myrtle Beach and the drugs is part of that. Just so you're aware that it is already profiting for the Camarilla.
I will be sure to. I will make sure that gets taken into account.
There's also one other cost. I want Amaranth on the imposter. These crimes have cost the unlives of 12 Assamites under my command.
Provided that no proof. Let me hit the reverse on that for a second. Provided that no irrefutable proof that this thing is of an infernalist nature, you have my permission on that, regardless of any acceptance.
If it was infernalist, I wouldn't want it.
Mr. Dannington would most likely wish to claim his own right of Amaranth at that point.
If it's infernalist, he can have it. If it's not, it's mine. And there will be a 10% blood tithe sent back to the clan for the crime.
Again, I have no problem with this.
And I will be delivering the blood sample in gives an accurate amount of time it'll take to get it there, plus or minus sunlight hours if we're too close.
Yeah, you're getting very close. Now, before you hand off this sample to Mr. Dannington, you may wish to contact him first. He's somewhat picky about the defense of his district. And to be quite honest, with recent events, I can't say as I entirely blame him.
Understood. I have his contact information.
And also, Mr. Saint.
Also, I ask you to do one thing. Question me.
Speak. Yes, actually, I was getting to that. Actually. I plan sometime soon. I plan for there to be an Elysium. A fact-finding investigation, so to speak. And while I am aware that you are of the clan of the Assamite, it also came to my knowledge that you have sworn fealty to the Camarilla. Under that fealty, say again?
I said I have.
Yeah. Under that fealty, I have the right to order your presence at this fact-finding investigation. And I will be exercising that right.
Understood.
In addition to questioning from myself, you also will take questioning from my counsel. Again, Mr. Wallace also made me aware of a purloined sheriffship of sorts that this imposter had mentioned it to you.
That has been removed, understandably.
Indeed. Although, let me be the first to tell you that continued action as you have done this evening would go a great way in having it reinstated.
I would ask for the prince's consideration that the individuals, and he describes the patch that he saw, and would give the name if they provided the name, be considered for free passage to Tar Heel in the near future, as they were the ones that gave us this information. We have allies in South Carolina.
As true as that may be, Mr. Singh, an ally, quite honestly, in my time, an ally, I find, is oftentimes simply an enemy in waiting. Again, this is not to say that, this is not to deny any information you have, but I do not know these people.
I did
We
just
need
ask for
more
consideration. I didn't say a definitive yes or no, just consideration.
Very well.
They have problems on either side of us that they'd have to deal with afterwards, which far exceed what problems we could possibly give them, namely Gaffney.
Yes, you actually heard him audibly sigh. A dead man audibly sighed. Miss Gaffney is, while I, Miss Gaffney has she has some qualities that I will be the first to admit that I myself would not be. He seems to actually, for the first, this is the first time you ever have seen a Ventrue at a loss for words.
You realize I totally wish I had a camera in your office right now, right?
Yeah, I will agree. It is not. It is a rarity that this happens. But Miss Gaffney, while I will be the first to praise her leadership capability, and I'll be the first to praise the defense of her domain. She maintains a number of personal qualities that I'm not sure that I find my ideology to be in line with, and I'll leave it at that.
The reason I ask for this consideration is because they gave us a very, 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 very important piece of information that I have yet to forward to you. A name. And a clan. Their leader. One Mr. David Washington. Of the insane ones.
Wow. Very well. The gambit grows more and more nightly, does it not, Mr. Saint?
Yep. But if this information proves valid, I think we should seriously consider giving them the free passage. Maybe for a limited period of time, but if it pans out, I'm not saying carte blanche without checking it first, but
it is definitely something that will be considered.
Because I am sure many Bothans have lost their lives delivering this information. Please tell me you got the reference.
To be quite honest, Mr. Saint, it's been a very long night.
Okay, tomorrow you might just start cracking up laughing, and you'll know it won't understand why, and I'll remind you.
Yes, you may need to do that. Oh, but yes, before before it escapes my thought, you mentioned that the amaranth that you requested was for the exchange of the unlives of a number of your men, if I understand that correctly.
Yes.
Are you going, would you be in need of any monetary compensation for that either, or monetary or equipment?
No.
Because I understand through, a number of my sources have made me aware that you are somewhat skilled in the securities industry.
Yes, I do have a security firm under my belt. We are well equipped. I shall actually give you a tour of one of our vehicles one of these days, where we held the meeting with Lady Gaffney.
Again, that name seems to kind of bring sigh to his voice. I should very much like to see these vehicles.
Does that happen every time I mention the name Gaffney?
It's like he wants to not. It's like he wants to not do it, but just something about that name just kind of gets under his. Seems like it's getting under his skin.
Okay, that was the last time I was going to do that one on purpose. And he's trying hard not to laugh. You realize why it's so funny, right?
Oh, I'm afraid the humor escapes me this evening.
Think how normally your clan reacts to things. And to cause you to not only sigh, but be virtually wordless.
Oh, that I will be the first to admit the rarity of that.
And that just happened 3 times in a row. With the mention of a particular name.
Well, again, as I've said, I have my opinions, but there's little that I or I'm of the fairly of the certain of the belief that much of anyone else can do that those opinions of her or those opinions formed about her based on her that she would have any of her actions be able to be changed by any other.
Do you wish any actions taken against these visitors?
I assume that you refer to this motorcycle club, these aces and eights, if you will. For now, they have presented no threat as of yet. Although I will be in the coming hours, I will be issuing an order of surveillance on them. You are more than welcome to partake in that.
And I'll see if I can put out any feelers to find out more about this Mr. Washington.
As always, keep me informed.
Of course. Thank you for your time.
And also be sure to keep your Duke informed as well.
Of course.
All right. I'm saying you enjoy the rest of your evening, Mr. Saint.
You two sons about to appear.
Yep. Let's not burn this evening, okay?
Oh, you mean we can't have a suntan? Oh, click.
And with that, you hear his end of the line goes dead.
And with that, they will head back to North Carolina. Post haste. Post haste. So okay, so I think that closes that up for now, right?
Say again?
I think that closes us up for now, right?
Yeah.
All right. You want to close it out?
No, that's pretty much it. As
You don't want to say any closing words?
as we bring our scene to a close,